Meraki TV is proudly brought to you by George Focus of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely.
I'm Anna Savo and this is Meraki TV, brought to you by George Focus of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely. Tonight on the show, Maria Chochlastou talks to Alex Lykos about his latest challenge of writing a musical. Helen makes sweet and crunchy Pastelli. Stavroula gives us all the glitz and goss. And we talk to Nathan Pylarionos about his Hiotis tribute for the Greek Festival of Sydney. Plus some more Did You Know? But first up tonight, it's no secret that keeping our Greek language alive can be incredibly challenging, especially with subsequent generations. After all, how do we compete with Dora the Explorer and Pokemon? Well, author John Nikolakopoulos may have just cracked it.
John, welcome to Meraki TV.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the Greek salad.
The Greek salad is the first book in what I hope to be a lot of books. It teaches kids to make a Greek salad, but it teaches them the Greek language at the same time. So it's a very effortless way to teach your kids Greek. It also comes with stickers, so you can put the stickers up in your kitchen, so whenever the kid sees the character, they're reminded of the book and they remember the word in Greek.
Well, you've nailed it, because literally the beauty of these books is any kid, any parent as well can pick them up, because you've got it in Greek, in Gringlish and in English. It means that whether you can read Greek or not, you can actually read your kid a Greek book, because as a parent I know there are parents who struggle reading Greek books to their kids because, you know, they don't read so well, so their confidence mars the kid's experience. And you've really nailed it there, so that literally a parent and a child can learn Greek together now.
Absolutely. So if you know no Greek, you can completely fake it, and you can read the whole thing in English and then just simply flick to the Greek and say, what's the Greek word for, kitchen? And you've got it there, and you've got it in Greeklish, so you can just say KOUZINA. And so it's a seamless way to completely remove all barriers to learning Greek.
It really does. And also too, for young kids that are just learning Greek but already read English, they can literally read the English, read the Gringlish, and then relate it to the Greek letters above and actually help them learn their Greek even better. So you've really layered it quite intricately. It's quite brilliant. Well done. And
Thank
what
you.
I love too is at the end you introduce, you're not just introducing Sophia and Artemis, but you introduce the Xaderfakia, the cousins. So there's a whole nother world like Pokemon for them to be excited about being introduced to and to further their journey.
Exactly. Kids love discovery. When I was younger, the kids in my school would know every detail of the Pokemon world. You know, my own daughters were learning Spanish fantastically with Dora the Explorer. So, Barbie and Dora and Pokemon and all these kind of worlds are so easy to get into, but once you get in there, they're hollow. They're hollow, they're empty. They don't have a philosophy behind them, and I kind of get annoyed by that. I want the first step to be just as easy as all those big companies. There's one Xaderfa called Ikarios, who's Icarus, who's into hang gliding. And so it kind of just opens the door, and then later on they learn the story of Icarus and Daedalus, and then they learn the philosophy behind it. It's a beautiful journey for kids. And you just end up in a world that rediscovers its philosophical roots.
Yeah. So where can we get this book?
For the first year, it'll just be available on Grammatakia.com, and you can just pre-order online. As soon as you buy it, you get the video of the book straight away, so you don't have to wait.
Thank you so much, John. All the best, and we can't wait to hear more of the Grammatakia.
Most of us will know the name Pythagoras thanks to our Year 8 maths class, and something about triangles. The effect of Pythagoras on our lives and society, however, goes much deeper. Here's more in 3 minutes or less.
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras was born in 570 BC on the island of Samos. His father was a gem merchant, and so the young Pythagoras had the opportunity to travel to many places while still young. He was well educated, and the philosopher Thales left a very strong influence on him, contributing to his already growing interest in astronomy and mathematics. It was on Thales' advice that Pythagoras travelled to Egypt and attended Anaximander's lectures on astronomy and mathematics. He spent quite some time in Egypt, and there was exposed to their temples and priests whose beliefs were a decided influence on his later philosophies. For conflicting reasons, Pythagoras, some 20 years later, moved to Croton in Italy, where he established a religious school, his inner circle of followers being known as I Mathematiki. The school was shrouded in mystery, demanding 3 years of introduction, followed by 5 years of absolute silence, and then another 5 years of training. Only then could you learn about the most sacred mystery of numbers. Amongst Pythagoras' beliefs was that a person's soul does not die and is destined to a cycle of rebirths. Only through purity of life may the soul be freed from the cycles. He also believed that a soul or spirit lies in all animals and even vegetable life. He is most famous for his geometric theorem. The Pythagorean theorem states that for a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse equals the sum of the squares of the two sides. Pythagoras is also credited with translating musical notes into mathematical equations. Legend has it that passing the blacksmith one day, he noticed that the sounds coming from the anvils were beautiful and harmonious. He was convinced that there must be a scientific law attached to this, and thus applied it to music, leading to the discovery of the link between pitch and string length, and the monochord, which defined the ratios of the musical scale. The Greeks believed that music was the language of the gods, so linking music with number made number like God. This later led to the development of numerology and much similar philosophies. It also led to the theory of the harmony of the spheres, which said that the planets and stars all moved according to mathematical equations. Planets were stacked around the sun at harmonic intervals, and thus there was literally a symphony being played in the universe. This then extended to colour. White light breaks out into colour at harmonic intervals. Pythagoras and his Mathematiki were not trying to formulate or solve mathematical problems. Rather, they were interested in the principles of mathematics, the concept of a number, shape, or other mathematical figure. In solving the mystery of numbers, they believed they were solving the mysteries of the universe. This is why Pythagoras is often referred to as the first pure mathematician. It's time for an income breakthrough. To free yourself from working for money, have your money work for you. George Focus of Focus Beyond will show you step by step how to generate income from the share market irrespective of if it goes up or down. Access resources that do the hard work for you and devote no more than 60 minutes a month so you can enjoy financial freedom and time with family. To change your life forever, go to focusbeyond.com now. Eremia Home Care Services. It's so difficult asking for help. Take the stress out and enjoy precious time because there's no place like home. eremia.com.au. digitalpress.com.au. Whether it's business or personal, your printing needs to be quick, easy, innovative and of the highest quality. Mention Meraki TV for 20% off your first order. digitalpress.com.au. isijewelry.com. Evil Eye Jewellery and unique fun pieces. Use the exclusive Meraki TV 20 discount code until June 30 for 20% off. isijewelry.com. SC is you.
Did you know the producer of the Hollywood blockbuster Mad Max movies is Greek? George Miller, the Oscar-winning film director and producer, is Greek. Miller was born in Brisbane in 1945 to Greek immigrant parents. His father Dimitri migrated to Australia from the island of Kythera and anglicised his surname from Hiotis to Miller. His mother's family were Greek refugees from Anatolia and were displaced by the 1923 population exchange between Greece and Turkey. George completed his medical degree along with his twin brother John and worked at St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney. In their final year of studies, they competed in a short film competition, taking out first prize. From there, one thing led to another, with Mad Max being his first success in 1979. The Greek-Australian Academy Award winners' productions include Hollywood hits such as the Mad Max films, Lorenzo's Oil, Babe, and the Happy Feet movie series.
Manolis Hiotis. The name may sound familiar for many reasons, not least of which being that he was responsible for changing the bouzouki from a 6-string to an 8-string. He was called by Jimi Hendrix the greatest player of his time, and his compositions, along with Mary Linda's amazing vocals, monopolised the airwaves of his time. So influential was this man on Laiko Traudi that his music is considered fundamental to any student of the bouzouki. One such student teed up with the Greek Festival of Sydney to do a tribute night. Our very own Stavroula went along to find out more.
Hello Nathan, you have a very exciting tribute show for us tonight. Tell us about the Φτωχό Bouzouko.
It's to commemorate the memory of Manolis Hiotis, a bouzouki player, and his wife who's still alive today, Mary Linda.
What is it about this musical duo, Manolis and Mary, that made them so special?
Their style of music was completely different for the era. It was amazing. Basically, up until the 1940s, they were still singing about drugs and alcohol, whereas Manolis Hiotis and Mary Linda came out of nowhere and started singing about love and happiness in a different Latin jazz style.
And what is the biggest challenge for you paying tribute to the legendary Manolis?
The biggest challenge is trying to play like Manolis, trying to emulate his playing. It's virtually impossible because he was just a virtuoso. He took the bouzouki to another level, and that level still to this day is, you can't catch it. He was way ahead of his time.
Can you give us an example of what we're going to see tonight? Can you play something for us? That's fantastic. Well, I know that Jimi Hendrix was quoted saying that you guys think I'm the best because you haven't heard this Greek guy, Manolis Hiotis, and when you hear him playing, you know who's the best. Now, in your opinion, who do you think today comes close to Manolis Hiotis?
Look, everyone's great. Every bouzouki player has their own strengths, but to compare to Manolis Hiotis, there is a couple of others, but Manolis is just up the top. He's just number one. You can't compare. He was just way ahead of his time. He was 50 years in front. And
with Mary Linda, did you play a significant role in this duo?
If it wasn't for Mary Linda as well, Hiotis might have been as great as he was, but I think with the help of her voice, it just took him to the next level even further. Not because they were married, but just because of her angelic voice. It just took her that one step up.
So what is it about Manolis Hiotis that you think is important in our history?
I think everyone should pay respect to the fact that he took the bouzouki from a 3-stringed instrument and turned it into a 4-stringed. To be exact, a 6-string instrument into an 8-stringed instrument. So he was able to dynamically change the whole bouzouki in itself, to play faster, to play more styles, different styles, instead of the same old rebetiko consistency style that they had. If you learn bouzouki today, you need to learn Hiotis.
You do need to?
Yeah, you do need to. You need to. It's a must. It's a must. I'm not saying, I'm not being biased because we're doing a Hiotis show. It's a must.
And what are your youngest students? Obviously you teach music. Yes. And what would be your youngest bouzouki player?
8 years old. Little champion. And he already learns a Hiotis song.
Fantastic. Can't wait to hear that too.
Hi guys, welcome again to Helen's KOUZINA. Today I'm not going to show you a 30-minute dish. I think it's probably 12 minutes, but very tasty. It's great for the fasting period as well. When you want that sweet thing with nothing dairy in it, this is the one for you. I'm going to show you how to make Pastelli. This is what I call a one-pot wonder. Literally, you've got probably 4 ingredients and it all goes into one pan, on a tray, in the fridge, and it's done and dusted, but really, really tasty. The first thing we're going to do is toast our peanuts and our sesame seed. You want a medium to low pan. Toast them nice and light and brown because they're going to recook once the glucose goes in. The most important thing is to toast them lightly. Please don't over toast them because they're going to get recooked again when the glucose goes in. Just make sure that you're always moving the sesame seed and nuts around the pan so that they don't burn. Just keep on moving it around the pan. These guys are perfect, nice and lightly browned. We're going to set them aside in a bowl to let them cool down and we're going to get on with our sugar syrup. Same pot guys, one pot wonder. I'm using the same pan that I used to toast the nuts in. The first thing to go in is the honey and the lemon juice. So that's been cooking for about 2 minutes. I've just made sure that it's on really low heat because you don't want it to overcook because all it's going to do is get really, really sticky. I'm going to pop my sugar in now. It's actually optional if you want to put the sugar in. I like to put the sugar in because it becomes crunchier. You know, you want to bite into it so that it cracks in your mouth. But if you want it the more chewier consistency, leave the sugar out. So once it's cooked for about 5 minutes, your sugar syrup, you can add in your nuts and your sesame seed. Give it a good stir. It'll start to get really, really sticky for about a minute. Doesn't take longer than that. Okay guys, it's straight off the heat. You got to work fairly fast with it now to put it into a tray and flatten it out because it's going to be really nice and soft right now before it gets too cool to mold. Please be really careful guys because it's toffee and it's really, really hot. So when you're working it with your hands, or if you're going to have your hands anywhere near that, unless you've got asbestos hands like me, take it easy. Okay, so it's been in the fridge for about 5 minutes, probably even less than that, because all you want to do is cool it down a little bit. You've got to work really, really fast. Cut it into whatever you like. Break it up into chunks, triangles, squares, oblongs, whatever shape you want, but it's ready to eat.
valetsalons.com.au. Enjoy the ultimate Hollywood hair and body experience right here in Kogarah with Valet. Mention Meraki TV for a $25 hair treatment free with any service. valetsalons.com.au. The Many Faces of Hellenic Culture, a fascinating read by author Billy Kotsis, who takes us to the Greek colonies of the Mediterranean, Black Sea, Asia Minor and the Middle East. Available from Amazon and anywhere good Greek books are sold. Whether it's Melbourne, Darwin, Queensland, something exotic or just perfect Greece, call Mega Travel 9824 2427.
DJ Crazy Con presents Grease 2016, the 17th installment in his iconic Grease CD series. 20 tracks of Greece's biggest artists: Pantelidis, Kiamos, Pretos, Master Tempo, Salty, Dalidis, Vegas, Knockout and many more. Plus a trademark super mix by superstar Greek-Australian DJ producer Crazy Con. Get your hands on the hottest Greek CD this year, Grease 2016.
Alex Lykos could have had a really cruisy year. His film last year, Alex and Eve, based on the stage shows, was a resounding success, and the release of the DVD has been met with much the same enthusiasm. Rather than sitting on his laurels though, Alex seems to have placed upon himself the biggest possible challenge: writing and producing a musical, Australia's Game. Maria Hiotis, one of his biggest fans, couldn't resist. She had to go check it out.
Alex, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, a lot has happened since we last saw you.
It sure has.
What's on the cards now?
I'm a lunatic, so I decided to, even though I don't have much history in musicals, write a musical, and here we are rehearsing. You saw a bit of rehearsal when you came in. It is absolute chaos.
A musical, a comedy musical?
A comedy musical, yes. It's about the professional football world. We have 6 Greek cast members.
What are you bringing to the play? I saw a bit of tap dancing there as well, so a bit of talent over there.
I made the mistake of mentioning I can tap dance, and then all of a sudden a superstar starts tap dancing, so it's just the way it goes down, I think.
And how is it different from a normal comedy play?
You know when they say triple threat, it's like 3 times the work.
Tell me a little bit about your role in Australia's game.
Okay, so Alex Lykos has this habit of giving me these great roles, which is so opposite to my real life character. So I play Stella. Stella is very, let's just say, feisty.
I play a character's named Tom. He's a reserve grader that gets called up after a few injuries, and he's quite ungainly looking. He's very nervous, very shy. And then, he has the game of his life and becomes a superstar overnight.
I'm Jim, and I play Ferguson, who's one of the footballers. I also played Jay, who is an agent, and he's Scottish as well, so am I.
Okay, so that you've nailed the accent then?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Scottish character I'm really good at. Yeah.
So what have been the challenges actually making a musical?
So you're telling story through straight acting, through dance, and through singing. And that's all got to fuse into one seamless piece.
What about the songs? Are they actually your own?
They're the original songs, yes. Look, at the end of the day, whilst the show is about footballers and the football world, what it's really about is our insecurities, our egos, and so the basic premise of the story is about a guy who's on top of his game, and he's got the whole world at his feet. In comes this nobody, and kind of takes his entire world, and he kind of gets, he falls, and this new guy takes his position. And we're so confident, and a lot of us, and there's a brittleness to our confidence. When we're really quite insecure. So when you take some of those things that we think are our strong suits away, we get to see the real person. So hopefully what an audience takes away from this show is, hopefully they're entertained because it's quite dynamic and it's a lot of fun. Hopefully they laugh a lot, and also it's a bit of an exploration into our psyches. How whilst we might think we're on top of the world, and we might look at people who think that they have it all, perhaps inside the facade. And one of the reasons where I came up with this story was this guy that I know, if you look at him, he's good looking, he wears a suit, he's got a great job, he's sharp, everything looks great. And on the surface, you think, this guy's the man, he's got everything. But if you get to know him a lot more, he's the most insecure individual on the face of the planet. So it's all brittle. It's like caramel chocolate.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thanks for having me again. Thank you.
Australia's game!
A new animation called Mentor is in the works. Mentor by Angelo Duvas will narrate the events behind the removal of the Parthenon sculptures by Lord Elgin. Mentor was the name of the vessel that transported the marbles from Athens to Great Britain. The film's release date, December, is to coincide with the completion of 200 years since the Parthenon marbles were sold and illegally rehoused in a British museum. Divided into 3 parts, let's hope they can spread the film's message to as many people across the globe. A time-lapse video called Greek Skies won a Hollywood award. Panagiotis Philippou dedicated the video to his father, who died of cancer. 365 days, 55,000 photos, 825 hours shooting photos, 8,400 kilometres and 650 hours of editing went in to make this amazingly beautiful video. A new movie to look out for is Chevalier, a deadpan comedy from Greece by Athena Rachel Tsangari. In the middle of the Aegean Sea, 6 men on a fishing trip on a luxury yacht become bored and start competing, comparing, measuring. A hilarious satire of the male ego gone wild. One of the cast is Sakis Rouvas. Chevalier won Best Film at the London Film Festival. For all budding filmmakers, the Greek-Australian Short Film Festival organisers are calling for submissions. Successful shorts will be screened during the Greek Film Festivals in Melbourne and Sydney. Visit www.gasff.com and enter. A Cypriot art project called Immigrants won the prestigious Saatchi Gallery Prize. Immigrants is a monument to those who died and those who survived crossing into Europe. Adonis Remos, Melina Slanido, Kostas Martakis, Eleni Fouriera and Stefania Rizou performed to sell-out shows in Melbourne, the biggest show ever to come to Australia. The group consists of 11 musicians, 5 technicians and 5 singers. You can see the show in Sydney this Saturday at State Sports Centre and Sunday at the Greek Centre, Brisbane. That's all for the Glitz and Goss for now. Catch me next week on Meraki TV.
Παιδιά, it's been fun yet again. Thanks for your company. A big thank you to our major sponsor, George Focus of Focus Beyond Education for Investing Wisely. And of course, a big thank you to all our guests tonight as well. We do love hearing your comments. You can contact us via our website, www.meraki.tv, where you can also find our web replays. And of course, you can stay up to date with us via our Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter, and by subscribing to us on YouTube. Tonight, I'm leaving you with some more Hiotis, care of Nathan and Irene. Until next week, παιδιά, φιλάκια from me, Anna Savo.
Με τέτοια βάρη χειμωνιά και με φουρτούνα στην καρδιά, το κοίμασε η λυγή. Κι αν κάνει η βάρκα σου νερά, τότε την κάθε σου χαρά, η θάλασσα την πνίγει. Μοιάζεις κι εσύ σαν θάλασσα που με τα κύματα σου μου τα έχεις κάνει θάλασσα και πνίγομαι κοντά σου.
Meraki TV is proudly brought to you by George Focus of Focus Beyond Education for Investing Wisely.